What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Originally, I planned a few videos where it was like top 10 easiest Nepenthes to grow, top 10 most difficult Nepenthes for experienced growers, stuff like that. But I realized my biggest problem was there wasn't a lot of information on the individual species or hybrids. It was just a lot of, hey, this is cool because it grows well for me and all that. So I'm going to do dedicated videos for every individual species and hybrid that I believe is really easy to grow, or even ones that are more difficult to grow that people might need help on. So hopefully this will help beginners or people that are new to the hobby. So to kick things off, we have Nepenthes Truncata. This is the truncated Nepenthes. I don't know if that's a common name, but I call it the truncated Nepenthes because the leaves are heart-shaped and beautiful, but when it gets larger, like 3+ feet across, I wish I was over-exaggerating, the leaves get more strap-shaped and more, like, leathery. And I guess elongated, you could say, because that heart-shaped pattern, you kind of see there's like sphagnum stuck to him. The heart-shaped pattern, it stretches out more rectangular, and hence the truncated name. I mean, already truncated, but it further exaggerates on it. This is a lowland species that is native to the Philippines, although some colonies are considered intermediate, about 1,500 feet above sea level. So I guess you could get away with growing them as intermediates pretty well. Actually, a lot of people do. But, you know, in my opinion, they are really meant to be grown as lowlanders, which is the way a majority grow them. There is a passion clone back there, the nice red variety, that is commonly grown as the intermediate, but is growing well in lowland conditions. And this is the F clone, the Alba clone from, I put a lot of emphasis on that, hey, wow. The Alba clone from Exotica Plants. This is an F2 version that suffered a little bit from, I'm guessing, a rust fungus infection. You know, like rust, you get them a lot on rose bushes and stuff. But whatever it was, the Daconol I sprayed it with worked really well. It didn't harm the plant too much, and you can see the new leaf. Oh, my finger looks really big. The new leaf is growing and looks unscathed. I hope it stays that way. This is the G clone from Exotica, which is a cross between the Passion clone, which is over there, and the Giant Striped, or C clone. It is just an absolutely beautiful plant. I wish you could, my phone would pick it up, but the peristome is beautifully striped and it will turn dark maroon. Nepenthes Truncata love to breathe. Their soil is like more than half orchid bark and the rest is sphagnum. A lot of people put perlite, but I find that perlite kind of compacts down a little too much over time, and even though I have to repot more often using orchid bark, it gives a lot more aeration in the soil. So I let them dry out a little bit between waterings too. Like, I just watered them today, and I probably won't water them until I see the top layer going crunchy, because they are borderline succulent. Like, look at how thick that stem is. It retains a lot of water. And my biggest fear is letting them rot out, because Nepenthes Truncata will rot if they are too wet, and it happens pretty quickly. Your plant will look beautiful and lush one day and turn to brown mush the next, and that really sucks, especially when you've had it for so many years. Which is another point to talk about, is that they grow slow. Nepenthes Truncata produces a few leaves every year, less than 10. If it produces more than 10, I want whichever clone you have. My G clone has produced maybe 4 or 5 leaves this whole year, and we are already in November. This F clone produced maybe 3. Well, this one was kind of struggling from fungal, and that one produced 3 in about 6 to 7 months. So that's always something good to think about if you want to grow it as a houseplant, because, you know, you don't want something like, say, this Ventricosa by Mariliana, or that Manny Herrera over there, which is going to grow 10 feet in a year. It's not really logical for a house scenario, but they grow slow, but they put on size quickly. You see, this one only produced about 3 or 4 or 5 leaves, but every leaf was multiplied in size by a few inches. Like, when I first got him, his leaves were about 3 inches, the next leaf he produced was about 6 inches, and dwarfs, or makes the it makes the leaf below it look dwarfed compared to the new leaf. And that's just the way Truncatas grow. It's constant leaf jumps. They never really decline in size, ever. The really cool thing about the species is that the leaf morphology transfers over to hybrids. So you could see this is Exotica's Truncata Giant by Boschiana, which keeps the slightly truncated leaves, even in the hybrids. It's just really awesome. I think it's a really big, like, variation when compared to, you know, most ventricosa hybrids have these strap-shaped leaves, or Maxima has their ovulated leaves. Ovulated? Right? They're oval? They're oval-shaped leaves. And it's just really, really awesome. I think it just adds a little bit of depth and just intricacy to the plant, which makes it an awesome species all around. This is a Maxima by Truncata that's acclimating. You see it has a new leaf. I'm really excited. It's about to pop a picture. It's not that big because it's, like I said, acclimating. I'll just go through some of my hybrids right now. That's Truncata, G, F, and Passion. Back here, I am really excited to announce that I have a Truncata by Mariliana, which is one of the largest Nepenthes in the world. This hybrid is just an absolute monster. You can see the size of this picture, and it's still a baby. It's maybe only like 3 or 4 years old. And that's just a massive picture. So, Leilani Nepenthes has their Nepenthes Kaisar, which is Mariliana by Truncata. And nobody really has a bunch of named cultivars, or any named cultivars really, regarding Truncata by Mariliana. So I have unofficially named this particular seed-grown clone Nepenthes Decimus. And if you know your history, Decimus was one of the leading political figures that sparked, I guess, the idea of assassinating Julius Caesar. And in the corner we have a Nepenthes Truncata by Tentaculata from Exotica. I've gone through a lot of these in previous updates. We have a Truncata by Inermis, which it had a deformed leaf because it was going through awkward humidity jumps at the time. I almost knocked over my Nepenthes Diariana that's growing down here. There's a stake going through this area. This is a really awesome plant. Truncata ventricosa by Sibianensis by Mariliana. Produces really nice sized pitcher and just a beautiful peristome. Maximum by Truncata. I'm still trying to acclimate this Truncata by not Insignis, Truncata by, I think it is Insignis by Mariliana, and it produces these beautiful bright red pitchers, and that is Nepenthes Kaiserion over there. Now I know what you're thinking, it's really purple in here, and that is because I got a new light system. This is a JCBritW. I'm just reading it the way it's spelled. It could be JCBritW. Anyways, I didn't do an unboxing on this particular lights brand. There's another one up there. I got a funny story about that paper cup after I'm done with this. But that's because the amazing YouTuber Brad's Greenhouse uploaded an identical video that would have been what I've done on this particular product. So I will put a link in the description for his video, and I would really check out his channel. He's really knowledgeable on Nepenthes, and definitely more so for highland growers, which I'm not. So you could have the best of both worlds. It's awesome. Anyways, everything is purple in here. There's another one up here. Now, that's styrofoam cup. When I aligned this particular light, it had an offset to the left for some mysterious reason, and I don't know why. It just wanted to lean to the one side, and it drove me nuts because I have OCD. It didn't really matter because the light was still going everywhere, but just that slight angle was driving me bonkers. So I filled a styrofoam cup with quickset cement, and yeah, it's weighing down one side, and when the cement dries, I'm going to pull it out of the cup and just have it there as like a paperweight. So, that's that. Anyways, I will keep everybody informed on how these lights are, treating the plants, because they look really bright and awesome. And, yeah, it looks like a UFO invasion's going on in my greenhouse. Anyways, back to Nepenthes Truncata. There's a few more hybrids over here from predatory plants. We have a Nepenthes Titanic Doom, which is Truncata by Densiflora by Rob Cantley. I really have to admire that Rafflesiana by Loei by Mariliana picture. That is, like, super duper awesome. I also apologize that I can't focus in for some reason because the lights give everything a purple, like, red hue. My camera just doesn't want to agree with that. There's a Truncata by Vogelii and Truncata by Spectabilis, all by predatory plants. I'm really excited to see all of those grow up. And over here hanging, I'm trying to get him acclimated, is a Truncata by Ventricosa by Loei by Ventricosa. And yeah, he's growing. He has a nice red new leaf, but it took a little while to acclimate because of the lower humidity. Also, before I go, I would love to give a massive shout out to the YouTuber Thegurian9. I apologize if I mispronounced that name. I will provide a link in the description, but why am I doing this big shout out, you ask? Because she provided me the corns, or technically tubers, to an Amorphophallus oncopiphyllum. And there's 4 pots over here. All of them will have, you can see I'm rooting some other stuff over there, but all of them have Amorphophallus oncopiphyllum in there. And they are known for producing these very large aroid-like flowers that smell bad. And what better, thing to have in a greenhouse full of plants that eat bugs than a flower that smells horrible and will attract said bugs. So I would definitely check out her channel if you want to see more awesome plant videos and just a whole bunch of great stuff. But I couldn't thank her enough. It's just really awesome to have some in the collection. There is also a Amorphophallus bulbifer in the house, so we will wait till spring and see what happens. Just one last admirable look at this awesome truncata. I wish I could focus in on it because, oh my god, that's just a beautiful picture. Alright, so my next video will probably be an update video on these lights. I know there's already a few lingering around YouTube, but I just want to see how well they work from a larger distance. And if anything happens, these Mirabilis hybrids are going to be the first to turn blood red. Definitely. Probably the Sumatrana hybrids and the Sumatrana over here will also probably turn red. I say probably because, maybe they're too far away and it looks bright, but it might not be for the plants. It's all a big guessing game. Anyways, this is Nepenthes Truncata, one of the best species in my opinion, and it makes awesome hardy hybrids for lowland to highland conditions. Thank you all for watching. Like, subscribe, comment, and do all of that jazz.